think, to the economy in general, if that is what it's about.
While oil prices remain high, the debate goes on over what alternatives there are for Spain's energy consumption. A sign of the times in an increasingly shaky climate. Sonia Gallego, AlJazeera, Madrid.
Moving on to some other news now. At least 8 people have been killed in 2 separate attacks in Mexico's border city of Ciudad Juarez. Police officials say gunmen killed 3 men in a bar early on Sunday. 5 other bodies were found nearby. Authorities believe drug cartels are behind the attacks. A 6.2 magnitude earthquake has shaken a northern region of Chile. Security cameras caught the moment the quake struck about 60 kilometers east of the port of Arica. Some buildings have been damaged, but there are no reports of injuries. Just days earlier, Chile marked the first anniversary of a magnitude 8.8 quake that killed more than 500 people. One of the world's most active volcanoes has been putting on a show. Kilauea in the U.S. state of Hawaii has set lava shooting 19 meters into the air. Scientists have issued a warning about a possible hazardous eruption. No homes are currently at risk. Afghan President Hamid Karzai has rejected a U.S. apology for the mistaken killing of 9 Afghan boys in a NATO airstrike last week. Now, this comes as hundreds of protesters took to the streets of Kabul on Sunday to demonstrate against U.S. military operations in the country. A statement from Karzai's office said the president had told General David Petraeus that civilian deaths in his country are no longer acceptable. Preliminary results out of Estonia show the centre-right government will stay in power for a second term. Prime Minister Andrus Ansip's coalition has won a clear parliamentary majority. This is the Baltic country's first election as a Eurozone member. In France, an opinion poll in Le Parisien newspaper suggests that the leader of the far-right National Front Party could win the first round of next year's presidential election. Charlie Angela has more.
The face of France's far-right politics. Marine Le Pen replaced her father Jean-Marie as leader of the National Front Party just 2 months ago. France's next presidential election is approaching, and now a poll published in Paris's leading newspaper is making uneasy reading for President Nicolas Sarkozy. It suggests that if the French public were voting today, Le Pen would win the first round with 23% of the vote. That's 2% ahead of either Sarkozy or Socialist Party rival Martine Aubry. Despite the news, Le Pen says her party won't get complacent.
I see this poll as an indication. I don't see it as an established fact. I know there's a lot of work to be done for the National Front, a lot of work to present our project to the French. I hope we are seeing the start of an awakening for the French people, because it's very fashionable at the moment.
The fashion she's referring to is the rise of the far right in Europe. Last week, a similar survey in the UK revealed 48% would consider supporting an anti-immigration party. Parties that already exist, with strong followings in Austria and the Netherlands. But the poll has sent shockwaves through French politics. Now, Sarkozy's rival, Dominique de Villepin, is being asked by his former spokeswoman not to challenge the president at the polls next May. She fears a split in the votes for the mainstream right could hand a victory to the National Front. Charlie Angela, AlJazeera.
One of the most travelled space shuttles, Discovery, is getting ready for its final journey after nearly 3 decades. Astronauts bid farewell to the rocket ship as they sealed its hatches with the International Space Station on Sunday. Discovery will fly a victory lap around the lab for picture taking before heading back to Earth. This is Al Jazeera, and you're watching Al Jazeera. These are the stories making the headlines. Rebel forces in Libya say they are advancing on the capital, Tripoli. They have held key oil terminals like this one at Ras Lanuf on Sunday. Some are calling on the international community to take part with targeted air attacks on Muammar Gaddafi. These are the latest pictures of fighting in the Libyan town of Misurata. Opposition fighters say they've repelled an attack by government forces, including tanks and artillery. At least 18 people were killed. Libyan state television has broadcast an appearance by Muammar Gaddafi before crowds in Tripoli's Green Square. Pro-government supporters rallied in the capital on Sunday. And opposition forces were regrouping around Bin Jawad after pro-Gaddafi fighters recaptured the town early on Sunday. Bin Jawad is in the middle of the embattled coastline between the opposition stronghold of Benghazi in the east and the capital Tripoli in the west. A British Special Forces team captured by Libyan opposition fighters outside Benghazi has been released. They boarded the HMS Cumberland in Benghazi port on the way out of Libya. The soldiers were reportedly part of a diplomatic mission seeking to make contact with anti-Gaddafi forces. U.S. crude oil is at a 30-month high, sitting at $105 right now. It's all because of attacks like this one a few days ago in an oil depot in Benghazi in Libya. The continuing instability and accompanying slowing of production there is hitting investor confidence. In Yemen, at least one person has died in clashes with government loyalists. 52 protesters were wounded in Ib city, 190 kilometers south of the capital, Sana'a. And another member of parliament has resigned from the ruling party, the 14th in the past week. Saudi Arabia is reported to be building up its security forces in the east. It comes in response to protests there calling for more rights for Shia Muslims. New video posted on a social media website appears to show a protest in Qatif on Friday. And security forces in Cairo have broken up a crowd of protesters who were trying to get access to the Ministry of Interior. Those are the headlines. Witness is next. Stay with us.
Hello and welcome to Witness, where we bring you personal stories from around the world. I'm Rida Fakhri. Most of us know that the establishment of the State of Israel brought Jews from all over the world to the new homeland. What may be less well known is that some Arab Jews from the surrounding states were amongst these immigrants. In 1948, a group of Jewish musicians from Baghdad and Cairo arrived in Tel Aviv. They were masters of Arabic music, but they found that their music was not valued in their new homeland, and the ongoing Arab-Israeli war left no room for their identity as Arab Jews. A small cafe became the one place where their music and culture could survive. Today's film by Duki Dror brings us the memories and stories of this charming group of now old men. Their memories, photographs, and bits of old film transport us back in time and give us a taste of the lives of these Jewish Arab musicians at Cafe Noah.
בתשלומים, בתשלומים, כל דבר בתשלומים, בתשלומים, כל המשכורת הולך למכולת. אז אמרו לי, לא, תתקן. אל תגיד הולך למכולת.